little three-wheelers around the world. Yeah, we got some show for you here. Yeah. This time we have Chris Schofield is right here to my right, and he's the driver, right?
I'm the driver, yes.
And then we have right over here, you can't miss this guy here, Dave Ryder, and we were just talking about, his real name is Dave Night Rider, right? Right. So, but we're just kidding around about that. These nicknames stick sometimes, huh? Okay, so now you guys are over here checking everything out and casing the place out here for the TT coming up, and they're both newcomers at the TT. They're certainly not newcomers to this sport, that's for sure. I'll tell you a little bit of background there, right? So in any case, why don't we go ahead now? We have here is Chris. Chris, you can tell a little bit about what year you had. How did it go? 2022, and then we get into the TT. Go ahead.
2022 went all right. Not as good as it could have gone, but all right. We did the FSRA British F2 Championship. Yeah. I got third place in the cup. It was a hard fight, but I got third place in the end. It was an alright year. I didn't have Dave on as my passenger for the British. That's a new thing because my passenger didn't want to do the roads. Oh. And obviously my goal is the TT. So once the British Championship finished, I then teamed up with Dave, did a few meetings after that, and then said our goal is TT now. Next year.
Yeah. So how many years you've been racing, the circuit racing?
So quite a few, but not quite a few in the same sense. So I started in 2011. That was my first time. I did about half season 2011. Then I joined the army, like you do. So 2012, 13 did nothing whatsoever. 14, 15, 16, I probably did about 3-4 races each year. 16, 17 did nothing. Then 18 I left the army, and that was when I did my first full season. Joined the British Championship then, and then so really I've done like 3-4 full seasons of racing.
Yeah. So I have to ask you this question, but has it always been like a objective of yours to come to the TT?
Always. So I used to. So when my uncle used to race, used to come over with him, and then since the first time I stepped foot on this island, thought this is mega. It's absolutely insane and shouldn't be allowed to be doing this, but then I want to do it. So then obviously he retired. That's when I then bought a bike, and then since I bought a bike, it's been my goal to get here. And this year we were supposed to do it last year. Last year was my goal, but because of COVID, it stopped me coming over and doing the laps. Yeah. So I had to take another year out sensibly because I wasn't 100%. And then, next year is the goal. This year, is the goal.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So, you just want to do is to make sure that you get settled in. You're probably looking at it for the long range. This is your first year. Same thing Dave probably said.
Yeah.
That you just want to settle in, get comfortable, get the experience, you know what I mean? And then kind of notch it up a little bit as you get comfortable.
Well, we've got two goals. One of them's to qualify, and the second one's to finish the race. Don't matter where we finish, just get there, get the first year under our belts, and then build on it from there.
Yeah. So it's a great thing. Now, okay, so we talked to Dave a little bit. Now, you see, it was just at this TT when I met Chris. Remember down at the
Yeah, I was,
Park Farming?
yeah.
No, he was just visiting and checking it out, checking the scene out. You weren't racing or anything. And then, Dave, I've had a few conversations. I mean, it was probably 3 or 4. It's like, and then we've gotten some of you when you're on the road down, because although Dave is a newcomer as well to the TT, he's not a newcomer to the Isle of Man. He's not a newcomer to road racing in the Isle of Man, because he's raced down there, and we met up a few times down at the Southern. I call the Southern the baby TT, huh? So that's a good experience for you there, Dave. How do you feel about this whole thing?
I suppose any road racing really, it's good for preparation for the TT. It just gives you the feel of where your boundaries lie, doesn't it? Where you have no room for error. So I feel like that's a good stepping stone for me. I wanted to do the roads anyway as soon as I got on a sidecar, really. So it's more of the case of, I love the circuit racing, but it's as roads that I want to do. That's why if it wasn't for my permanent driver that I had for the last 5 years having an accident, I probably have never had this opportunity this year to do the TT, because my driver didn't want to do the TT, so I kind of put that on a back burner for myself.
Yeah.
Turned out quite well, so I'm going to be teaming up with Chris this year to do the British, the roads, and for the TT.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's where we continue. I'm still going to be passenger in my previous driver, but doing some club rounds while he gets back into it, starts getting back into the sport, because obviously he had a bad accident, so he's going to be getting back into it. So I don't know where it's going to be lying with staying with him as a passenger, but I'm going to help him get back into it, because obviously my priorities now will be with Chris on the British and the TT, and if I'm doing the TT next year, I'm going to be with Chris doing the British again next year, so it's going to be beneficial for me to stay with him. I've known him for a long time, because when I first started back in 2017, I passengered his brother David Schofield for nearly
about half a season,
nearly a full season. Yeah, we did really well.
Yeah, well, that's good. You see what it is, though, is a lot of, family connections that we got here.
Kind of the decision for Chris to ask me to passenger him for the TT is half like based on that I've already been racing with his family.
Team,
He knows he can trust me. He knows I'm reliable. So it's kind of like half of the battle, isn't it?
Well, that's a big thing, though, huh? Yeah, we're all getting up for it already here, huh? Yeah, so that's pretty cool there. Yeah, and okay, so I guess the main thing is to getting here and qualifying.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, right?
It definitely is, yeah. That's, obviously, we're putting our homework in, and we've been here now, been over 4 times now. Bruce has come over with us every time, and he's given us his guidance around here. And I've been and seen Carl Bennett. He took me around. I'm meeting him again tomorrow to do more of my newcomer laps. Dave's coming over next week to meet up with Lee Kane to do his newcomer laps. We're watching on boards, and we're driving around. We're doing endless laps in the car. So yeah, we're definitely putting our homework in.
Okie dokie. And so what about you? You think have you thought about the Southern after that?
I'd like to do Southern, but it all comes down to money and time.
Yeah.
It's hard to get the time off work, and with it, especially with it being so close to the TT. I know it's a few months afterward, but it's getting the time, and then it's getting the money, enough money to come back over. But yeah, I definitely want to do it. I've always wanted to do the Southern as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get the TT out of the way first, and then.
I'd definitely do it. I love the Southern itself.
Oh yeah, he likes it. Yeah, you've had some good results down there too.
Couples, yes, I've only done it twice. Yeah, that was one of my first road races on the Southern.
Yeah, the Southern's something else. Yeah, so we'll be down there, and we're going to be covering all the action down into Southern. Oh yeah, at the pre-TT, we're going to be there. Any case, you guys have anything else to say? About TT or about outside TT coming next year?
And the only other thing is, like I said, FSRA, so we're definitely invested in that. And again, it all comes down to money and sponsorship. the more sponsorship we have, the more we can do.
Yeah.
As we all know, it costs a lot of money to do this, and yeah, it costs a lot of money to run a series and to stay in the series, and then it costs a lot of money to come over here and do the TT, and so we'd love to do it all. But again, like I said, it all comes down to sponsorship, and not got the money, and we're putting it all on credit cards, and it then becomes a burden, doesn't it, on you? So, but it's what we do because we love it. And then it's in your blood, and you can't step away from it. And
you see what it is? Oh, I'm glad you guys mentioned that, right? Because this gives me the opportunity to put a little sales pitch on everybody out there that's got a bit in the wallet. You know, that's how I got involved with the sport. I got involved, as soon as I saw the sidecars. Well, I'll go back just a minute. I won't take too long, right? A little history about how I got involved in it in a summarized way. But since I was a kid, I knew about the TT. But I grew up in the big city, New York City. You know, it's just a big place there. I heard about it and I saw some little photos of it and that going way back in the day. Now you're talking back in the 60s, right? So I saw that and I said, wow, that's tremendous. And I like like most kids do. I like motorbikes and all that. I never really had much opportunity, with it. You had a little scooter, and then like in the summer we'd go out into the a couple of dirt bikes and that sort of thing. But then as I got older and everything, I still use, the media got better and better and better with TT, and I said, oh, that's great and everything. So I moved to the Isle of Man, make a long story short, like 36 years ago. And I said, well, this is, on some business venture. And but I said to myself, I said, well, this is going to be great because that's the TT. I'm going to finally get to see the TT. So I come out here. And the first thing I do, I go down, the first TT I go to, right? And I say, well, what the hell is that? Yeah, that's the sidecar racing there, right? I said, that is the coolest thing I ever did see, right? And it wasn't, because it was just sitting there until it took off. Then I said, oh, I'm hooked. You know what I mean? This is what it is, This is the best. And then so I used to go around the circuit and all that and watch the show, with the sidecar racing and that, right? And then, it didn't take too long. Then all of a sudden I started sponsoring some of the guys. I'm summarizing this, right? So now the punchline of all that I got out to that spiel was this, right? Well, you guys out there, you get involved and help, sponsor these guys. But I tell you one thing, it's one heck of an experience that you have. You get out there, you become part of the team, huh? Yeah. And you're like, it's like a family. You wanted good sponsors to come in there, and you got your team, you got your team, your jumpers and your T-shirts on, you got your name on there, and you go out there, and you go with the guys, right? You hang around down at the packs, and you go out on the grid, right? And you get the big huge buzz. Like the guys do, right? Huh?
No, our awning's always open as well, and quite happy to talk to anybody about sidecar or anything, and kettle's always on.
Yeah,
we're a friendly bunch sometimes.
Yeah, but I said that, so I saw all that. So then I said the next thing I did after doing some sponsor there, right? With Claffey, then Birchall's, then Molly, right? And then I said, oh, yeah, I got to take this to the next step. So then we did the movie. That's what happened. And the movie came out. And that really did well. And I got even further hooked. so the thing's so ball. So then we went social media, and that's taken off like a rocket. And then I make the, we got close with the TT, closer and closer. So now, we're the title sponsor now and the media partner. All right? So all of that, in case the picture of it here is right, you guys get out there and start supporting some of our guys out there. I tell you what, it's a great experience. You're not going to regret it. Look at me, right? Yeah. So all right, guys. All right. So anything else you have to say, or you guys?
Yeah, no,
All right.
that's about it.
Well, okay, guys. We'll shut it down here for 9 p.m. But all of our fans out there, you're going to be seeing everyone out there. You know, we're going to be going live, TT, etc.,
Yes.
etc.
We'll be
So
on.
okay, all right, fellas, and yeah, remember everybody do this here. Yeah. Okay, we'll close it down. All right. 3-wheeling. By the sport, for the sport.